Hey there guys, welcome back to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the preview for the game on Saturday, the late kick-off between Arsenal and Norwich City. In the context of things, a pretty massive game with Norwich looking to get out of the relegation zone, Arsenal looking to secure that top four finish, which we all know wasn't the main aim at the start of the season. And sadly, as every season seems to, it spiralled out of control and we're left with a below par campaign. But I mean, it is a big game. If we do want to secure Champions League football, we have to be beating another relegation threatened team in Norwich City. We were unable to do that against Sunderland last weekend in what was a very, very flat performance. And generally going into this game, I do want to see a fresh approach. I want to see change integrated into the Arsenal squad. And it doesn't help that Arsene Wenger is coming out before the game and pinning a lot of blame on the fans for the way that this season has gone. And he does have to take some responsibility, I believe, for what has gone on this season. And he does really fail to be doing that. And he does seem like he's losing his rag a little bit, which I think a lot of people would expect at this point in the season. But I won't get onto that topic too much. It's a big game that we've got to be focusing our attentions to on Saturday. Norwich have been a bit topsy-turvy this season. They've had some very good performances. They do have a very, very leaky defence. We've got to be scoring a couple of goals against them at least. Away from home at Carrow Road in the 1-1 draw really was the start of where things went wrong for us last season. It was at the point where we were losing away from home against West Bromwich Albion as well. We were having a rather bleak patch, and that was when Santi Cazorla or Alexis Sanchez got injured. We were without Francis Coquelin at that point, and it was a very, very dark time for us in the course of the season. And you could argue that's another place where we've dropped points this season. In fact, it's not even arguable. That was a game which we should have won, and I would fully expect us to rectify what went wrong at Carrow Road in this game on Saturday. I'd like a convincing win. I want a fresh approach to the Arsenal squad. I want to see a vibrant, exciting, youthful team, something that we haven't seen this season, and I want to see Wenger try and mix it up. I mean, it's going to be interesting. We want to talk at a protest, which I'm very much looking forward to in a way, just to see how the reaction is, because I know the Emirates Stadium, the fans aren't maybe at the same level as the ones that go away from home. You could argue are a little bit more dedicated, where their voices are heard that bit more. I would love to see that at the Emirates. I want to see, you know, a message portrayed, because it's not something I've seen at the Emirates in the past decade. I haven't seen a proper protest when with the Black Scarf movement and everyone else trying and get a protest going. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what happens, and I just want to see fans notice, because evidently we're unhappy and no one is particularly pleased with what Arsene Wenger is coming out and saying in recent weeks, and we want to see change and we want to see something happen in the summer. A fresh approach is needed, as the banner says, and it's something I would wholeheartedly get behind heading into tomorrow's game. Regarding the team lineups, I think we've got to take a look at our defence. First of all, I would not play Per Mertesacker and I would not play Gabriel. Both of them have their faults, and I want to see Callum Chambers given a chance in this game. Hasn't had a chance in God knows how long. For me, hasn't really put a foot wrong this season. Deserves the opportunity to partner Laurent Koscielny if Chambers is going to have any future at the club in the next season or so, because he hasn't had many opportunities this season. With Mertesacker and Gabriel, very unconvincing. I think it's a time for Chambers to really integrate himself into the Arsenal squad alongside Laurent Koscielny and make a name for himself ahead of next season. Regarding the midfield, I want to see Jack Wilshere start for that game away from home at the Stadium of Light. For that last 10 minutes, he was the brightest spark in that game and offered a lot more than any other Arsenal player did. So for me, he lines up alongside Francis Coquelin in the midfield. And it is what I would regard as a midfield pivot that could potentially flourish in the years to come. But Jack Wilshere, I hate to say, he's not a player that we can depend upon. We can't rely upon him. I want to see him get over this injury crisis that's plagued him his whole career, but it really does remain to be seen whether he'll be able to stay fit heading into next season. But with the Euros coming up, I would hope that he's able to strengthen himself up that little bit more and really, accomplish the career that so many wanted to see from him. My Arsenal team in full will be Petr Cech in goal, Hector Bellerin, Callum Chambers, Laurent Koscielny, Nacho Monreal, Francis Coquelin, Jack Wilshere, Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, Alex Iwobi and Danny Welbeck up top. I don't want to see Aaron Ramsey in the squad, and I don't want to see Olivier Giroud in the squad. They both slow down our play, in my opinion. We're a lot more dynamic with Danny Welbeck in the squad as well. And you could argue that maybe I shouldn't have left out Mohamed Onana. He doesn't really deserve to be dropped, but I would like to see how Coquelin and Wilshere perform in a midfield pivot. If not, El Nene and Wilshere is something I'd like to see, but I really do think we have to be starting Jack Wilshere in a game of this stature, especially when the Euros are coming up and he needs to be getting more and more minutes under his belt. But those are my thoughts going into the game. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this protest plans out. Let me know if you're getting behind the protest. If you are going to the game, let me know if you'll be holding an A4 banner up. Please do get your thoughts in the comments box below. Please do drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, and as always, I'll be speaking to you very, very soon.